Hold on. I gotta wait for it to go live everywhere, and then I gotta push all of the buttons. Hold on. There we go. I was like, why is it taking forever? All right. One down. We're going to learn about candles. Why? Because let's be real, it has been a hot minute since the majority of us have used candles. All right, hold on. I'm like, what is my group's name? All right. All right. Are we ready? So, as you've heard, maybe you haven't seen, we are getting candles. Now, I understand. Hold on, I can't think and talk. All right. I understand that some people aren't going to like that. I understand that it's weird. I understand that many of you are going, oh, WTF. Totally get it. Here's facts. Like, I think it was given to us like 70% of households still use candles. Just is. People use candles in conjunction with warmers. I personally have not used a candle in 1,000,007 years, but as I have used our candle over the last 2 weeks, I get it. All right. There is something about lighting that candle that it's just different than a warmer, and I'll explain how it's different. It's different because it's not just because it is a candle, you use it differently. All right. So most generally, most of you all use a warmer, you turn it on, and a lot of you like turn it on and you don't ever turn it off again, right? And it's just constantly there. Or you turn it on in the morning and you turn it off before you go to bed. You don't use a candle like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like you're going to light this candle and never blow it out until it's out. You know what I mean? Or you shouldn't. We will talk do's and don'ts. It's not like you're going to light it in the morning and then blow it out before you go to bed. Like, you shouldn't do that either. So you use a candle differently than you do a warmer. So they 100% go together because, like I said, it's just different. And there is something about like lighting that candle in your bedroom or in your bathroom or in your kitchen after you cooked dinner. You know what I mean? You cleaned up and you're like, okay, I'm going to light this candle. And so many complain about, and I don't want to say complain, they make comments about how I don't smell the scent anymore, right? And we've all talked about nose blindness. We all know what that is. And if you don't know what nose blindness is, we're going to get some education in this school today. I always use this scenario, a trash man. Everybody goes, I don't know how you be a trash man. It has to smell so bad. And what does he say? Oh, I get used to it. You don't notice the smell anymore. My husband would say that about working on the farm. He was like, you don't notice the smell anymore. It's because your nose has gotten used to it. It's not just for bad smells. It is also good smells. Good smells do the exact same thing. You can become nose blind to a scent because it's all you use. If you are a cinnamon only household all the time, if you are fruity all the time, like if you use the same type of scent all the time, your nose isn't going to smell it anymore. Or you leave the house and you come back and that's when you smell the scent again, it's because you had a break from it. Or other people are like, oh my gosh, your house smells so good, and you're like, I don't smell anything. It's not the wax, and it's not the strength of the wax. 9 times out of 10, it's because you are used to the scent. You've been using it too long. You need to change it out. You need to rotate and use something completely different than what you're already using. That is kind of where a candle pops in. All right. So think about it. You got your warmer going and you've got baked apple pie going, right? It's in the warmer, you're going, and then you clean up from dinner and you're like, I'm going to light the candle for the evening. And you light the candle and it's in pumpkin roll, which is a completely different scent than baked apple pie. You're going to smell that pumpkin roll, right? It works together with the warmer. It's not taking away from it. Matter of fact, turn the warmer off or give it a break or let them work together simultaneously and mix together. You will be surprised how well you notice the warmer scent once you use the candle, because I've been using it in the bedroom and I notice the candle when I first walked in, but then I noticed my warmer much, much stronger in the bedroom because it's now picking up different notes from that candle. Does that make sense? I know this is really sciencey and stuff, but it's true. So candles are coming on the 1st. They are heavy. Like it's heavy. It's heavy glass, real thick. I don't know if you can tell, but it is really, really thick glass. 4 ingredients. So, are you ready? Soy wax blend, paraffin, fragrance oil, microcrystalline wax. That's it. That's all that's in it. So they were regular. You know that word. I can't say the word for some reason. I can't say that word. Tested. They were ran through things. They actually gave us consultants candles, and I'm very appreciative of that because it allowed us to try them out because it is something completely different. Again, I haven't used a candle in a million years, but I can tell you what I have noticed with this one, and I swear to you, and I will never do that to you guys. I will never just say things to say things. It's the honest truth, okay? I have never used a candle where it actually like melted down. Like you can see a little bit of the wax over here on this side, but I have never burned. It feels so weird to say the word burned. I have never used a candle that like melted down, nice, flat, even. It's always been like puddles or pools or pillars, like super, super weird. I've never in my life have I ever had that. And I was a candle person before. The wicks, it is a double 2-wick candle. Why do I feel like that's a different word? But if you could see, like there's none of that like mushrooming, there is just a teeny tiny bit. But I could tell you I have used many other candles in the past, and I can remember like the top of the wick like blossomed. I know that's not the right word, but it was like big and poofy. Do you know what I mean? And these have not done that at all the whole entire time that I have used this. So one of the things that we did learn with using candles, which I had no idea, and if you already know this, don't judge me because I didn't know this, is you are supposed to let it burn until you have a full pool of wax, meaning this whole top layer is completely liquid. And that means, it's okay to blow it out when you're ready to blow it out. Like if you are only going to be home for like 2 hours and then you're going to blow it out, just don't even light it because it will then change how it melts down. I had no idea. I didn't know that. The other thing too is using a snuffer, which is a fancy word for the little thingamajigger, the little bell that you like put it down. I didn't know that either. Apparently when you blow on a wick, that also causes that like mushroomy blooming effect of the wick. And it can cause the wick to kind of topple over, which is a problem in some candles. I do remember that. And then what you probably already knew is you should trim it down. Not a ton, just a little. And I can tell you, I have used this candle 2 weeks now, put it in the bedroom. I would light it for maybe 5 hours at a time kind of deal because I wanted to test it. I wanted to see how good the strength was. I wanted to see how it like lit. I wanted to see how it melted. These are words I have not used in a very long time. I wanted to see how it lit, it melted, how the scent throw was. I wanted to see how the wicks worked. I wanted to see when you blew it out or you snuffed it out, was it smoky? Was it black smoky? Was it sooty? Was it anything like that? And I can tell you, it really truly wasn't. Of course, there is a little bit of smoke because let's be honest, it's a candle, it's a fire. Of course, there's going to be. I got this a super cool lighter because I didn't own any. Okay, well we did, but they were like big ones. They were big ones, but all right. It's a USB and you plug it in and then you push this up and then it's like a taser. Ready? It's little things. Easily amused. And then you just like recharge it. It's super, super handy. But so yeah, a big thing I wanted to see is when I blew it out, was it like black smoky? Was it like terrible or anything like that? Now, I don't recommend doing what I'm about to do because you do want to let it melt all the way down. Like I said, you want that full pool of wax. Okay, there is smoke, but I can promise you that it is all white. There's no black in it. There's no nothing. That it's not. And I'm not saying that to be like super special, buy my shit. I'm not being that way. I'm being honest. Okay. So that was blowing it out. Let's light it again. I don't recommend doing what I'm doing. I'm doing this for scientific purposes only. Okay, so we'll let it go for just a little bit, and then we will use the little snuffer thing and see the difference. You can see that there is a tiny, tiny little bit of smoke right now, but nothing major. Like, there's no smoky smell to it. Like, it's messed up my lighting. There was no smoky smell to it or anything like that. I didn't feel like it was unsafe by any means when the candle came, that the wicks were far enough down and the wax was far enough down into the jar that I wasn't concerned by any means. Yeah, just it's a higher quality, in my opinion, looking. And that's because I did look. I did go on to other websites. I did look around at other candles. I wanted to see what their price was, because I mean, I haven't priced a candle in a bajillion years. So I did look to see what our pricing was compared to other ones. And I can tell you, from that super popular candle store, we are actually cheaper on our candles. Theirs are $35, ours is $30. And I can tell you that there's a lot more ingredients in their candles, and most generally everybody else's candles, than what are in ours. And I'm not just like saying, I actually looked it up, like scientifically proven by a non-scientist myself. All right, so you're supposed to take this. Like, I have a tendency to do that, and then I'm like, is it lit? And then I'll pull it off, and it like relights, because I'm not dumb. So we're still got some smoke. I would say not nearly as much using this, but supposedly using this causes less disruption to the candle. It's supposed to keep that wick in better shape and better form. I don't know what that means. These are all new things to me. And then this little thing, you clip off just a tiny little bit of it. Again, I do not recommend doing things like I am doing right now, just because you're supposed to let it burn longer than what I did. But we are being scientists right now, and we're doing it for science, in the name of science. So you just trim it down just a tiny bit. I would show you, but there is wax down there, because that's how fast it melted. So I understand, like I said, I 100% understand that most people are going to be like, what are you doing? Why are you doing candles? And I get that. I 100% get that, because I'll be honest, my first thought was, why are we doing candles? Once I learned, you all who don't use candles and you use warmers and wax, you have got to experience the Scentsy quality wax and the Scentsy scent of a wax, right? Blueberry cheesecake and baked apple pie and, Luna and all of those really, really good scents that you guys love, because you keep coming back and you keep purchasing and you love those things. Why not let people who use a candle and are really into candles and that's their vibe, why not let them experience it too? Like, it seems fair. It seems right. It seems just. It seems like all of the things. We're not saying that one is better than the other. We're just saying, you know what? It's time for candle people to be able to experience the same scent that we all have been experiencing with warmers and wax. Now, the wax is different than the wax that we use in our warmers. It just has to be, because, as you guys know, the wax in our warmers does not evaporate. It doesn't disappear. It doesn't melt. It melts down, but it stays there. When you melt a candle, it disappears, right? So they are completely different waxes. I do not recommend sticking your finger in the candle like you can a warmer, things like that. It is completely different. So that's why we are having candle school right now. Yeah, I think it's, my daughter uses candles. She prefers them. I mean, she has a warmer, but she prefers a candle. And like I said, there is something about, you get done with dinner and you clean up the kitchen and your warmer is going and it's over there and it's going, but there is just something nice about just taking a second and you light that candle and you walk away and it's a new smell. It's not taking away from the warmer smell. It's just an addition to. Or if you're taking a bath, there's something about, I'm not a bath person, but people tell me that there's something about having a candle in the bathroom I don't know. I'm not a bath person. They annoy me. So I have no idea on that aspect. But, or in a bedroom, if you're going to have like some romantic time. That was a terrible wink. But do you know what I mean? Like, there are instances. And if I'm going to talk to you from a business perspective, younger generations, they don't want warmers and wax. They want a candle and they want it to be more aesthetically pleasing than a warmer and wax. Some of the warmers are just cumbersome and bulky and they're not the vibe that they want to go with. So a candle is more streamlined, aesthetically pleasing, and it just fits in with more decor. How many of you also have probably gifted a candle or been gifted a candle? They're great gifts to have. Now, the candle, it's going to be in this glass jar. And now it does have our new S logo on the front. But if you don't want the S, the back is completely naked on the back. So if you don't want the S to be visible, just turn it around and it's a beautiful jar candle. It's like a frosted glass. So they are heavy. 42 hours of burn time is what it is. And it is recommended, suggested in candle school that you should let it get that full pull, I want to say full pull, like in tractor pulls, but the full pull of wax before you blow it out or snuff it out. And that's usually about 2 to 3 hours. So it just makes it, and like I said, am I dry? Yeah. It's warmed down, like melted down. You just have just a tiny little bit on the side, like not much, honestly. It's like real thin what's left on the side, but it has warmed down, burned down, melted down, extremely smooth, extremely even. Right now I got two tiny little tunnels because of what we just did, so I'll have to fix that. But it really has. And like I said, there hasn't been very little of that little like mushrooming at the top of the wick. It's just different. You know what I mean? It's not going to replace your warmers by any means whatsoever, because you're not going to light it in the morning and leave it on until you go to bed. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I guess you could, but it's not advised. And you're not going to turn it on and leave it on 24/7. It's just not going to happen. Also, you're not going to change it out. Do you know what I mean? With a warmer, you're going to put your wax on Monday and you're going to change it on like Wednesday or Thursday to a completely different scent. You're not going to do that with a candle. The candle is the scent, is the scent, is the scent forever and ever. Amen. So it's not like you're going to light it all the time, right? Your warmer is going to be going all the time. So you're going to use it in conjunction with your warmer, not a replacement for. Okay. So available on the 1st, they're going to be available in cider mill and pumpkin roll are our first 2 scents that are going to be available. They're going to be $30 a piece, or if you bundle them in a pack of 3, you're going to get 20% off. I don't know the math. Y'all know me. I don't do math, so don't ask. But a great gift. Like if it's something that you want, get it and then grab 2 more to get 20% off and then keep it back as a gift. You know that you're going to have someone over this holiday season that your spouse, your daughter, your kid, your boss, somebody is going to need a random gift at some point in time at the very last second. So instead of going to the big box store, the grocery store, the mall, have that in your closet and then you can gift it out, because Lord knows you've gotten a candle and you've gifted a candle. So just have some back. And it's easier to gift a candle, I think, than it is to gift a warmer and wax, because warmers are so subjective to decor, but candles usually just pop right into about any decor. And being that it is very simplistic and simple, it's going to fit in fine. You know, you can stick it on a stove, you can stick it on the back of a toilet, you can stick it on a sink, you can stick it on a tub, you can stick it on a nightstand. Like, it's going to fit in a lot more places decor wise. So you don't have to worry about like, is this warmer going to work in their decor? Right? So there you go. If you are getting my weekly newsletter, make sure that you pay attention, because for every person who orders a candle with me on the pre-order for the 1st, you're getting a free gift from me. So make sure you look and see. Orders are going in on the 1st at 3 a.m. So if you need on that pre-order list, holler at me. So hopefully you enjoyed Candle School, because it is something that none of us, most of us, a lot of us have not used in a very, very long time. And hopefully it allowed you to look at candles a little bit different, because I know there was hubbub about it. I'm not dumb and I'm not blind. I know there was like some discourse. Is that the word? Discord? Discourse? Displacement? Anger? I don't know what the word is, but there was some hubbub about candles and how dare we do candles, and this is ridiculous, and this is like, there was an uproar. Okay, hopefully you look at this and know that we're not getting rid of warmers and wax, and we're not even saying that this is to get rid of warmers and wax. This is us going in conjunction with, working with, and just being able to get that scent out that you guys love in warmers and wax to all kinds of other people. So that's it. If you need on my pre-order list, holler at me before the 1st. Harvest collection, holler at me before the 1st. If you're my VIP group, you're going to see the NFL collection. That is launching on the 1st. There's so much stuff. I'm getting up at 3 a.m. to throw some elbows and get orders for you so that you don't have to. So give me your list, because things can and do sell out even at 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So give me your list and we'll go from there. Other than that, I think I'm going to go order pizza and have a nice, relaxing evening. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Have a good weekend.